Hello everyone, welcome to another video at Watchtower Examination. My name is Winston. I have never been a Jehovah's Witness, but I find this organization, this religion to be fascinating. And I choose that word carefully. I am fascinated by the things I have observed, the teachings that they have had over the past century. Crazy stuff. But some things about this organization I find just simply fascinating. There is a new theory that is surfacing about the flat earth. People believe that the earth is flat, that we have been lied to all along about the earth being a globe. I want us to work with an assumption that the earth is indeed flat. Let us say it is true. Let us assume that the information that the people who are promoting this theory is presenting is accurate and solid. The majority of the world is not gravitating toward the information because of what they have, because of the views that they have held from they were born. As a matter of fact, there are some things that if you say to some Christians that are taught in the scriptures, they find it very difficult to let go of it because all their lives they believed something else. How then do you explain millions of people believing something for several years, for decades, and then in 24 hours, new information emerges, and the majority, if not all of them, change the position that they have held for several years because they were told we have new light? I am fascinated by that. It can't be that millions of people believe one particular definition of the generation that Jesus spoke about at Matthew 24. And in 24 hours, because the governing body says we have a new definition for the generation, people who would debate you tooth and nail yesterday that the generation is this set of people, suddenly, after 24 hours, all it takes is a change of definition by the governing body, and millions of Jehovah's Witnesses just change their view overnight. What is it that accounts for this very, very effective, this strong control that the governing body has over Jehovah's Witness minds? Speaking of fascinating, it is fascinating that there can be a people today, an intelligent bunch of people in the 21st century, the information age, who do not believe in tertiary education. Strange. People in the normal world would find it odd if they did not know for you to tell them that Jehovah's Witnesses are opposed to tertiary education. And the thing simply makes no sense. I responded to a video. Anthony Morris III, again, putting up a case for why the governing body has not changed its mind on tertiary education. They have changed about so many things, but they still firmly are opposed to Jehovah's Witnesses moving on to acquire tertiary education. When you look at their behind-the-scenes video about how they create their cartoons, you are looking on professionals. You do not learn those skills in high school. So they are clearly using professionals, people who are beneficiaries of tertiary education in their production. I've said it in a previous video that I am pretty confident that jw.org was not programmed and is not managed by high school leavers. So they have web developers, professional web developers who are working on their software. I am impressed with the Watchtower library software. Pretty good stuff. I'm confident again these were not developed by high school leavers. It is so insane that I'm actually going to be doing a short video after this one, just showing the insane position that they have on tertiary education. But I mention all of that to say, amid their campaign against tertiary education, they have lawyers. They speak about their legal department. They speak about their accounting department. And if it is only high school leavers that they have in their writing department, I want to give them commendation, because I cannot recall ever seeing a grammatical error in a Watchtower magazine. So that they are pretty good at the English language. But I have never heard the Watchtower speak about their team of psychologists. I mention that because these people seem to understand how the mind works and how to work on it. Recently, someone pointed me to a video. I made mention of it. Someone laughed at me because I did a video. The comment of the week was about my education, that the Watchtower will reprove members for what they call loose conduct and what they define loose conduct actually to be. I was surprised. Someone laughed at me, sent me to the training video for elders how to conduct a judicial committee. And I said it when I did my first review, my first commentary on that video. I found the boy crying to be corny. I found it cloying, the way they speak slowly. I found it annoying how they talk down to people like they're speaking to children. But as annoying as I found it, as corny as I found it, as cloying as I found it, there was something I found quite interesting. I was not interested in watching the entire video. I was very busy working on something else. But when I saw the comment, I just clicked on the video, and my plan was just to take a cursory look at it. But you know what happened? I watched that video from the very first minute to the very last. It held my attention. You can never accuse David Splane of being charismatic. Why then, when he's speaking, I listen to him from beginning to end? They are actually boring speakers. And each person is different. Maybe the reason I listen, because I've heard persons saying that they are Jehovah's Witnesses who do not pay attention. Maybe the reason I listen could be because I am particularly interested in the contradictions and the amazing stuff they say. When I watch Watchtower videos, when I read their articles, and then I'm listening to these men contradicting what they said before, I find it fascinating. So maybe that is what holds my attention. But whether you like it or not, this organization knows how to get to Jehovah's Witnesses and how to convince them. Speaking of their anti-tertiary education stance, they do have these animators who are working on these cartoons. And from what you saw from the behind-the-scenes video, there's a lot of work that goes into what they do. And you have to give credit where credit is due. While we do not appreciate the message, we can appreciate the production. They do good work, meaning that these professionals could be out in the private sector earning good salaries for what they do. What is it about the Watchtower that convinces these people to volunteer their time? In other words, they are giving up good incomes that they could be earning. What is it about the effectiveness of the Watchtower's influence on these people that they are willing to devote so much, to volunteer so much of their time to the organization? What is it about the organization that get people to volunteer so much? Which brings me to a very interesting question again. Since they have so many volunteers who they pay little or nothing, why are they placing so much emphasis nowadays on soliciting funds, as I mentioned in the video that interrupted this one, that short video? Why is the Watchtower putting so much emphasis, an organization that boasts, I don't know if it is true, but they boast that for 130 years they have never solicited for funds? What then is the reason for the sudden change? But to get back to the point of this video, the Watchtower uses some effective mind control and propaganda tools. Gaslighting. Gaslighting, the term actually came from an old movie where a man sought to drive his wife crazy. He wanted to give her the impression that she is losing her mind, and it actually worked. And he would do things like flick the light on in the room. And then when she asked, "Did you see the light flickering?" he said, "No, the lights were not flickering." Now she trusts her husband. She believes that he is an honest, trustworthy man. And her honest, trustworthy husband is telling her the lights were not flickering. And so she begins to question her own sanity. Gaslighting. That is exactly what the Watchtower does when it is twisting the scriptures. Gerrit Lush could look at millions of Jehovah's Witnesses and tell them that Matthew 24, 45 to 47 says something completely different from what it says. But witnesses, they hear it and they believe it. So much so that when they read the actual verses and they do not see what Lush said, in their mind they start reading into the verses what they were told. That is the gaslighting technique. Then there's another technique that the organization uses to very, very good effect. Repetition. Repetition. Keep repeating the point. And so article after article, video after video, book after book, they are pushing, trust the faithful and discreet slave. Trust the faithful and discreet slave. This is Jehovah's organization. This is Jehovah's chariot. And they keep repeating it over and over and over and over and over again until it gets into the psyche of Jehovah's Witnesses. And if you think you can get that out of their heads, not easy, because it's planted in the psyche. Another tool, I am no psychologist, I've just been doing a little bit of research to find out about these techniques that people use to control the masses, the kind of propaganda that is used. There is another tool, another device that the organization uses: projection. This one is really something. Fascinating stuff. Projection is projecting onto someone else your faults. So if you are a thief, just keep accusing others of being a thief, and then you look like an honest person. If you are constantly lambasting thieves, people see you therefore as one who resent thievery. And so they look at you as an honest person. And so the thief will keep calling other persons thieves, and the label sticks. I read a statement from an article where the Watchtower is projecting its very own weaknesses on false teachers and on apostates.
Apostates quietly bring in corruptive ideas. Like smugglers, they operate in a clandestine manner, subtly introducing apostate views. And just as a clever forger tries to pass phony documents, so apostates use counterfeit words or false arguments trying to pass their fabricated views as if they were true. They spread deceptive teachings, twisting the scriptures to fit their own ideas.
I could very accurately remove false teachers, remove apostates, insert the governing body, and the statement would be 100% correct. Everything that the Watchtower is here accusing false teachers of are the things that the Watchtower is as guilty as sin about. The very things that they are projecting on apostates are the things that they are guilty of. After shooting the video, I remembered another very important technique: fear-mongering. They drive fear into their adherents by giving them the impression that other persons are their enemies who want to destroy them, who want to destroy their relationship with Jehovah, who want to destroy their spirituality, who want to disease and corrupt their minds. This they do very, very effectively with a propaganda about apostates. And everybody who is not Jehovah's Witnesses, not just apostates, everybody is a false teacher to be feared, because these people want to destroy you or destroy your spirituality.
Suppose that a doctor told you to avoid contact with someone who is infected with a contagious, deadly disease. You would know what the doctor means, and you would strictly heed his warning. Well, apostates are mentally diseased, and they seek to infect others with their disloyal teachings.
But they use these devices, these propaganda tools, so effectively, so very effectively. Sometimes you have to wonder, is it psychology? Is it hypnosis? Is it some sort of spiritism? Is it something demonic? I don't know. I do not know, as I said before, if the Watchtower has a team of psychologists. But they are exceptionally good at controlling minds. I do not understand it all. I'm just trying to research and to understand. And so I'm going to be leaning on my team of advisors, and that would be you, especially ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, and others of you who understand. Give me your comments. State for me, please, what are the other reasons that I might not have mentioned here that makes the mind control of Jehovah's Witnesses by this governing body so absolutely effective. Thanks for watching this video. Do join me for the next, God willing, and have yourself a beautiful day.
May the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all.